Hello, I hope you are well. Today we are going to use UV resin, this one, a lamp, a UV lamp, stained glass paints from Pébéo, little glitters too, and then I cut out a rose shape with cutting dies. I made leaves too. If you're doing scrapbooking, you've certainly got all the materials you need. There are lots of really cool die cuts to be found, but be careful. There have to be some gaps, otherwise it won't work. So I've already cut this out. I've got a piece of rhodoid, and now see you in a second. As I was saying, I've cut out a piece of rhodoid, a plastic sheet. I'm going to stick my rose and leaves on it. So I'm going to glue them, but this little cutout is really thin. So I thought I'd put some glue on other piece of rhodoid. I don't have a glue pen. A glue pen would be perfect, of course, but I don't have one. I'll go over the edges of the cutouts with my little silicone brush, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do it like that, because I've got a feeling I'm going to get annoyed very quickly. That it's going to take a long time. So I'm taking a brush straight away. I'm doing this with a brush. Yes, I've got an all-purpose brush here, which has seen a lot of mediums. And I'm taking my glue with this brush and applying it on a little more coarsely, if I may say so, flattening out the pattern so it doesn't go underneath too much. But it doesn't really matter. But well, and with the brush, I'll go a lot faster. But really, if you've got a glue pen, don't hesitate to use it. It will be so easy to follow the shapes. And don't use patterns that are too complex. Well, it's up to you if you have got the patience, but if you don't, it can get a bit complicated. I put my glue on well, hoping it will hold well on my rhodoid sheet. There has to be plenty of glue all over to prevent the resin from running underneath, of course. I'm just fine-tuning it now, and now I'm going to place my cutout on my rhodoid. I apply it well so that it holds properly. I'll do the same with my leaves. So for that, see you in a few seconds. Here I've waited maybe half an hour for it to dry properly. It seems to be holding. Now comes the tricky part. I still have to cut around my piece. And that's why I told you not to use too complex a shape, because then it's a real pain to cut out. I'm out of focus, sorry, but it's normal. That's it, and now we are going to use UV resin. But first, I've got to fix my piece of rhodoid to something, because otherwise it's going to move all over the place. So I apply a non-permanent Scotch tape. Then all I'll have to do is rub a little alcohol on the back, and it will come off very easily. I'm going to put it not on my sheet of paper, of course. I'm putting it on an ordinary tile. This is very practical for walking. It's solid. It cleans well. And it's quite heavy. So it's perfect. This way it won't move, and if I need to, I can turn my tile. I'm pressing it down well, and it seems to be holding. And now I'll take my UV resin and put it on a piece of rhodoid. My rhodoid is a little yellow, but it's old. That's for sure. You don't need much resin, as you don't want a very thick layer in the first place. So that's it for the resin. You see, it's a big fat drop. I'm adding some glitters. You've got to have glitter in your life. I'll mix with my silicone brush. I have to tell you that this is a tutorial I saw a long time ago. Don't ask me where, I can't remember. So if this person who made this tutorial recognize herself, or if you know this person, don't hesitate to tell me. I'll add his or her name to the description box. By the way, don't forget to check the description box. I put all my products, everything I use. Then I'll add the color. I'm using crimson. Yes, that's crimson. So it's stained glass paint. I think you need to use quite a little if you want the UV resin to cure properly. I'm going to start with okay, 3 drops. We'll see if it works. I'm going to close the paint bottle right away because I know myself. I'm pretty clumsy. And now I'm mixing my resin, glitter and stained glass paint to obtain a more or less homogeneous result. And now I'm going to apply it to my cutouts. Just like that. So, it's a bit of precision job, but it all works out all right. You have to go slowly. I speed up the video a little. In fact, I'm not too concerned about whether the color is perfectly homogeneous or not. On the contrary, because in nature there's no such thing. So there you have it. I'm putting a little bit everywhere. And now I'm going to add a little resin. It will lighten things up. It will give me a little gradation, so to speak. Okay, that's it. I'm adding a little more even in the spaces that are already done, so I don't go over the edges of the cutout. And then I add a lightening medium for stained glass paints and a little resin again. That way I don't have completely the same colors. We'll see what happens when it dries. And then the lamp. So to check if it's really hard, don't use your fingers. You'll be in for a bad surprise. It seems to me to be well hardened. Now it's on to the leaves. I'm going to use a green to make the leaves normal. So it's the same thing. A drop of resin and then the color. I didn't add glitter here, but I could have. Of course, you can use any color you like, depending on the pattern you've cut, but it's all up to you. I could have done a yellow rose, a blue rose, a green rose, why not? And I apply the same method to my cuts out. but I have a little problem here. The leaves don't stick well to the rhodoid, but it doesn't matter. Everything seems to be hardened. Don't hesitate to harden again. With the UV lamp it goes pretty fast. And then I'll finish off by adding a layer of clear resin. Obviously, since the cutout is made of paper, it's better that it's protected. So all I have to do is spread it all over, right up to the edge, making sure it doesn't spill over. Well, I can't guarantee anything. So you apply a layer, dry, and then feel free to add another layer if you want to give it a little more of a domed look. Above all, don't forget a single corner. Everything must be well covered with resin. It's very important to check very carefully, and then you dry under the lamp. So here we go. On my black glove it doesn't work. It's all transparent. I think it's nice. On white it goes very well. So you can use it to decorate a card if you're doing scrapbooking or card making. You can incorporate it into another project. Yes, in a mold, for example. Oh yes, I like it. Yes, in a mold which you then cover with resin. It's really fun. I like it, of course. It all depends on how you cut it. So it's a pretty quick project. Well, quick for quick people. For me, a little less. It's the cutting that's a real pain. It doesn't easy to cut the rhodoid along the shape. That's why it's best to forget about complex shapes. But really it's nice. Yeah, like it. So the retry paint dries very well. Here are some photos taken in daylight. Here you can see the transparency. Isn't it pretty? Oh, I like it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and that it's given some ideas. Let's get together again soon for some new adventures. I'm going to explore a few little ideas like that. It's pretty cool. I've got so much material, I've got to use it. Take good care. Bye.